He murdered his entire family. Alan Rudy, freshman at the University of Oklahoma in 2014, murdered his entire family on a Friday. The next day, he drove down to Dallas for the OU-Texas football game, where he stayed in a hotel with his friends and posted this candid photo to his Instagram, which was likely an attempt to build an alibi. This didn't work, as he quickly confessed and received multiple life sentences. It is crazy to think about what his friends in this photo must have thought after they had learned the news. This photo shows a strange man photographed by a missing 17-year-old. 17-year-old Dalen Pua went missing on the morning of February 27th. He told family members he planned to hike the Haiku Stairs, also known as the Stairway to Heaven. Volunteer groups searched for Pua after both the Navy and the Honolulu Fire Department suspended their searches. Volunteers went as far as to rappel 600 feet below the cliffs where Pua took his last photo. This photo is one of the last few photos the teen had texted his family members during his hike. After extensively studying the pictures, they noticed a man in one of them. The family is now asking for the public's assistance in identifying the man in the photo. They hope he may have more clues that could possibly lead to Pua's location. This is John List and his family. In 1971, he shot and killed his mother, wife, and children in their New Jersey home. Earlier that year, he lost his job and was unable to provide an abundant lifestyle he and his family were accustomed to. This was an abject failure in his eyes. He hid the loss of his job from his family. He attempted to secure employment, but nothing measured up to his previous salary. He remained unemployed and continued leaving his home as if he were going to work while skimming his mother's account to recover finances. Once that started to run dry, his only logical next step was to kill them. In his mind, going on welfare would have been too humiliating, so he instead opted to send their souls to heaven. He methodically murdered each family member one by one, moved their bodies to the same room, and then cleaned the scene. He canceled deliveries, notified the children's teachers that they were going on vacation, and cleaned out what little he had left in his bank. He even went so far as to cut himself out of family photos so as not to leave any account of himself behind. He spent one last night in the house and left the next morning. Lights on and organ music blaring throughout the house's intercom system. Due to List's multiple ruses as well as the family's reclusive nature, the bodies of the List family weren't discovered for a month. By then, List was long gone. He managed to evade authorities for 18 years. It wasn't until prosecutors commissioned an excellent forensic artist to produce a physical bust of List with age progression that he was caught. A neighbor of List recognized him and contacted authorities. He was living under an assumed identity in Colorado. He gained employment as an accountant and was remarried. List was sentenced to 5 terms of life imprisonment. When asked why he didn't kill himself as well, he replied suicide was a sin and he wanted to be reunited with his family in heaven. He died in custody due to complications of pneumonia in 2008. Rosalind Carter, the First Lady of Jimmy Carter, had the unfortunate luck of being photographed with not only John Wayne Gacy, but also Jim Jones of the Jonestown Massacre. The photos might be the kind of thing you'd see on office walls for middle managers, or in restaurants, but due to the events which would later come, they have sinister connotations. This is Payne Stewart's Learjet before its final flight. In 1999, professional golfer Payne Stewart and 3 other passengers and 2 crew members took off from Orlando, Florida to Dallas, Texas, en route for the PGA Tour Championship practice rounds. Shortly after the start of the flight, the cabin rapidly lost pressure, causing everyone aboard to succumb to lack of oxygen. After climbing well past its assigned altitude, all the way to 50,000 feet, and straying from its flight path, the plane was intercepted by fighter jets from the United States Air Force. The pilots monitored the situation, noting the ice/fogged up windows and the unresponsiveness of the plane's pilots. After several hours, with the plane nearing the Canadian border on course to Winnipeg, the Canadian Air Force was given orders to shoot the plane down. In the end, the plane came down after running out of fuel in South Dakota. Numerous tributes were held of Payne Stewart, as well as his fellow passengers and the plane's crew. An in-depth investigation found the Learjet was not responsible for the deaths.